Hey everybody, I'm Sean. Welcome to another episode of Adventuring Spiders. Welcome back everybody. On today's adventure, we are doing the Grotto Canyon hike. We are starting here at Grotto Pond, which is the parking lot as well. Beautiful little pond where you can stop and have a picnic, even do some fishing apparently. But that isn't why we're here. We're here to hike up the canyon, so let's get to it. All right, we just left the parking lot, and the trail over to the canyon is pretty well marked, as you can see. Got these little signposts, and the trail is pretty well worn, so can't really miss it. There are a few places where you got to cross some creeks like this, Dry Creek, but even here the trails are well marked on the other side, so more to come from when we get closer to the canyon entrance itself. So the first part of this trail, before you get to the canyon, you're basically following this power line through the cut line for this power line, and you pass by this processing plant just in the distance here. This is the Bimag mineral processing facility where they purify magnesium carbonate, and then you continue along. So the first part here is not super exciting just because you're following this cut line, but once you get past this to the mouth of the canyon, then you veer off this cut line towards the mountains in the distance here and head up the canyon. And you also leave the sounds of the processing facility behind as well. So we're getting closer. All right, this is the end of the trail coming from the parking lot. And what you can see just in front of me here is the entrance to Grotto Canyon. And you get a good view of the Dry Creek bed here and the mountains in the distance. And then just up here to the right there, that's the entrance to Grotto. We're gonna hike all the way up that till we get to the waterfall. So now the true hike begins, and there's not really a gravel path anymore. You're kind of just following that canyon. There's a little bit of water coming out of there, just a trickle. So we'll see that. All right, this is the entrance here. You can see the little creek flowing, and now we just basically follow this canyon all the way up to the waterfall. You can do this hike year round. This stream does freeze up in the winter, so there's a lot of ice in here, so you got to be pretty careful, but nice little hike. One of the things we often do when we're hiking in these streams is we bring the life straw. You need a drink. It's a good way to do it. All right, we're a good ways up the canyon now, and the canyon walls are starting to get higher, carved out a little bit more, and the little stream is getting just a little bit wider. Still a ways to go. All right, here's a look back down the canyon towards the mountains in the distance. This is where we came from. Gorgeous view that way. And if we pan around now, we're actually next to the mountain cliffs and heading up in that direction. So we're getting closer. All right, we are getting closer to the end where the canyon narrows a little bit here, and should also be getting close to something else really cool right on this corner, and that is some pictographs, some very cool pictographs. So let's get a look at that. Probably not that easy to see, but there they are. There's one right there, some there. There's a really good one, a figure, and yeah. All right, we are just about near the end here. The pictographs are just around the corner in the bend here, and if we turn around, you can see the wall up ahead. That is the end of the trail, the canyon, and to the right is the waterfall. And if you go left, it opens up into a big boulder field where you can continue hiking. I'm not sure if we're gonna do that today, maybe. We will see, but let's go check out the waterfall. All right, you guys, here's the first look at the waterfall at the end here. See the water rushing down this little creek, and there's the waterfall at the end. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna climb up here and get a look at the very end. It's a bit steep and the rocks can be a little bit slippery, so you got to be careful. And we've got some seepage coming out of the rock as well. And as I said before, if you go left up that direction, it opens up into a much wider canyon. The rocks over here dripping. You can take a little shower. We'll have a look at that in a second. All right, here we go. We're approaching the very end here with the little waterfall at the end of Grotto Canyon Trail. It's a bit steep to get up here, but well worth it. And there it is, the waterfall at the end, and flows down into the canyon. Here I'm standing at the weeping wall. And you can see the drops coming down here. If it was a hot day, it'd be a great place for a shower. All right, we just came through the canyon here. Popular activity, rock climbing. You got somebody way up there communicating with walkie-talkies, and they're preparing to climb quite a ways up, almost to the top. Just asked them. And then on this side, you've got, as I said, this boulder field, and a lot of people have built their own inukshuks. These trail markers. Pretty interesting balancing act right there. Very impressive. This is where the boulder field opens up here. Gets a lot wider, and just on this hill straight in front of me, you can kind of see it. There's a cave about halfway up. So you can kind of hike up the scree slope into that cave. And then I imagine you can keep hiking and hiking up this canyon for quite some distance. We've never gone further than the cave. But yeah, we'll go take a look. All right, we have made it to the cave. And there it is. It's the little cave in the side of the slope here. And then you can see the canyon continues on. We have been hiking now for about an hour and a half at a pretty casual pace. That gives you a sense of how long it takes. So it would be 3 hours return from this point, but you could continue on up this valley for quite some distance, I think. The ravens and the crows. And there's some climbers off in the distance there climbing on that face as well. So lots of activity out here today. If you're lucky, you may even see some wildlife up close. Really close. I think somebody's been feeding this guy. All right, we went up here as far as we want to go. You could keep going, as you can see in the distance. A couple more climbers up on the cliff there. I don't know if they'll show up on the camera. But we're going to turn around here. We are about 2 hours from the parking lot. And we're going to head back down the canyon now. Back to the parking lot. And it'll probably take about an hour and a half because we won't be stopping in as many places. So that gives you a sense of how far you can get. And if you were looking for more of a day hike, you could continue up the canyon here and find out what's at the end. So let's make our way back. All right, so we are back at Grotto Pond, just behind me here. And you can see the highway in the distance, the mountains in the background. All told, took us, I don't know, 3.5 hours. Definitely didn't take as long to get back as it did to get out. Gorgeous day, and now we're just having a quick walk around the pond here, and then we're gonna hop in our vehicle and head back to Calgary. So that's gonna do it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed another trip around this beautiful place we call the Rocky Mountains outside of Calgary. And with that, I'm gonna close this one out. If you liked the video, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and until next time, good adventuring.